Alright, Chapter 7 Managing Your Devices. Overview. The data flows into and out of the computer system through the piece of the equipment called the device. The device is controlled whether with the coming out input or going out input. Input and output both. A keyboard example, the input device of the computer gives the information to a printer with the output device of the computer sends it from and to it. This drive both of the input and output device of the computer is either the reader file with the disk or the writer of the file onto a disk. Some devices called the keyboard don't usually need much attention, but we cover the MS-DOS grub with no special instruction to operate. However, the fine-tunement of their performance you can see with the later in the show with the other device operated with different ways. So allow you to tell the MS-DOS how to want them to use. For example, the modems could follow a certain rule with transferring information. Some of the display to allow the chain with the number of the lines for over the screen. The MS-DOS can you set up the modern work as it should be. Use this alter with the display with the work as you want. Display with the keyboard printed with the computer with the communication channel with the call ports. Can also be used with a variety of the way the chapter shows you how to do the following the MS commands to help you manage your system. Check with the system memory with the memory command. Clear the screen with the clear command. Set with the mode with the command. See it with the keyboard. Repeat with the key with the held down. Specify with the number of characters lines appear with the screen of the mode command. Control the width of the spacing of the parameter of the mode command. Define setting of the communication port of the mode command. Copy of the device. A file with the other device for the copy command. Enter enable the MS stuff with the graph with the command. Change your keyboard layout with a different language of the keyboard key command. Alright, device name just as the files have a name. Some of the devices device may have many of the MS-DOS commands just as you would use a file name. MS-DOS allows you the device names. However, you can name the device yourself. The figure 7 file on the page show the devices of the bank of the typical system file and the names assigned with to the MS-DOS. Alright, CON short for console, both of the input device and the output device refer to both the keyboard input and display output. They cover the keyboard's input only, but the display is on output only. MS-DOS can tell only which one to use by with the way you use the name of the console command in print. PRN is short for printer of the output device. Refer to the parallel printer of the MS-DOS user unless specified with a bunch of the MS-DOS file with the current drive unless specifies otherwise. You can attach many of the 3 parallel parts, name of the LPT1, LPT2, LPT3 to your computer. The PRN usually means LPT1. Auxiliary or AUX is short for auxiliary. Both input and output refer to the communication port with the MS-DOS unless otherwise instruction. Otherwise, the attached device is 1 or 2 with the communication port for the COM1, COM2 with any other version of the MS-DOS using version 3.3 later can be attached to the device. Use the core communication COM1 through core unless the program specifies otherwise. MS-DOS assume the auxiliary means COM1. Typical system with COM1 could be used with a modem. COM2 could be using serial printer and vice versa. MS-DOS reserves the names of the use of the drives only. Can you give any of these names to the file? Preparing, for example, to note the device is shared with a resource up to the respond with a request more use one authorized use of the computer is part of the network show with your network administrator before attempting to manipulate changing the settings of shared printers to the other shared devices. Devices are often need specific setup and instruction operator parameters. All of the example of the chapter work the IBM compatible personal computer display with the printers. If you're not using one of the machines, you may need to use the different instructions to manage your device. Refer to the documentation for the information. We're trying an example to make sure the device you name it attached with the system and turned on. You wouldn't hurt anything entering with the command of the device that isn't present or isn't ready with the command. May cover the error with the required you to restart the MS-DOS. Checking system memory with the memory command. Even though the computer memory is the device, you're normally thinking of the terms that can be both the reassuring to know how much memory the system contains, whether the program has been loaded into the memory, how much you can use it in another program. Before begin with the version 4 MS-DOS, you can use the memory command to record the report of the memory. Memory CDOS mem with the MS-DOS quickly produce the report like this one. Show the memory with the type and then the total used and free. Total memory under 1 megabyte. So executable program size. Upper memory block MS-DOS resident high memory area. This type of the report should be in version 6.0 with IBM compatible computer with 640 gigabytes. Regular conventional memory of 3.4 megabytes. Extended memory 4 megabytes. Whole memory. Upper part of the report of the table tells you how much memory is each type is installed with how much is free. Conventional memory is a regular memory used with the MS-DOS application program. The report shows the 640 gigabyte memory installed with the computer, 26 gigabyte being either the 614 gigabyte with available to either the other program. Upper memory preserved before version 5 is available. Only devices serve the display is not available. The program report shows that the computer has a 147 gigabytes upper memory, 53 gigabytes, even in 934 gigabytes for use. Alright, your adapter RAM and ROM memory is installed with the printed circuit board operated devices over the display. The adapter is attached with the computer router or show of the installed with the computer have only 237 gigabytes of the memory and of it is being used with the version 6.2. Later, memory type of the adapter RAM and ROM is identified as reserved, extended, or XMS memory is additional memory installed with the computer that can be used with the application programs. UV the MS-DOS reports. UV the 3,272 kilobytes extended memory installed with the computer. 2,424 gigabytes should be used as 648 gigabytes for expanded. EMS memory is another type of additional memory that can be installed with the computer. Can be used in certain conditions. Both application programs, MS-DOS mode. Memory reports amount with extended memory, and if any with this appendix, see with the MS-DOS command reference the full description. The middle of the two line of the report summary with the total memory figure for the following. These line with the two line with the largest block with the memory available, the conventional memory with the largest block with available, the upper memory with the figure for the largest block with the conventional upper memory available, with the amount of the memory installed with the computer version with the MS-DOS run with the type of the program being used and installed. The last line reports confirm the MS-DOS loaded in the high memory memory area, the high memory area, or HMA, with a special portion of the extended memory with the information really quite important when it tells you the MS-DOS has played with a large part of the size of the computer, 640 gigabytes of conventional memory to order, given that applications more room to work. MS-DOS available with a high memory sufficient significant feature available with only version 5 with related more details, extended memory, high memory area in chapter 17 tailoring your system. MS-DOS version 6 memory command includes 5 parameters. Most of the code of the MS-DOS with the more detailed report memory. Use the detailed reports probably will seem meaningfully meaningful unless the uninterested programmer learning about the inner workings of your computer. The parameters discussed in appendix C, MS-DOS command reference. Alright, clear screen. Sometimes you want to erase the distracting clutter from the screen. Old directory listing for rapid display commands that MS-DOS has already completed for you. You can clean these up with a clear CLS or command or clear screen command with erase everything on the screen with a display with a clean system prompt in the upper left hand corner. Clear screen. Learn has one form CLS to tell us it. Type the name C drive CLS. The screen clear to ship the system prompt, which is placed in the upper left hand corner of the screen. Fine-tuning your keyboard. Begin with the version 4 MS-DOS. You control with a quickly with a keystroke. Repeat one with the press and hold the key. Change the way of the keyboard operates with the modes command. All purpose of the device control commands you to tell with the MSC how you want the use not only with the keyboard but any other part of the computer system, including with the display with the printer. Control your computer with the mode command with that 3 parameters. Mode console rate equals targeted as bracketed speed delay equals pause. Console means CON means console the keyboard rate, and the specified bracket specify the speed of the MS-DOS. Repeat with the keystroke. You can specify the number of the 1 through 32, with 32 being the fastest. Delay pause bracketed specify long MS-DOS will wait before starting to repeat the keystroke. You can specify 1 to quarter second relay, 2 for half a second, 3 for 75-second delay. 4 for a 1 second delay. You must specify both the rate and delay. For example, the average keyboard repeats about 25 times per second on a daily half second before the repeating begins. To say the effect of the version mode command slow the keyboard rate delay. The type of this C drive mode console rate 1 delay 4. Try holding down X key to see the result. If you otherwise fastest type it impatient too slowly quickly set the rate with a high value of 32. Set the delay with low numbers such as 1. Slow the keyboard repetition lower rate with it. If you can increase the delete time of the reset of the keyboard regular with the repeat rate delete time. C drive mode console rate 20 equal to 20 delay equal to 2. Alright, controlling the display with a number of different display with the display of the adapter printed circuit board, the operate with the display with the U with the IBM personal computer with a compatible machine with the discover the most commonly U with the display with an adapter, short name, product name, monochrome display adapter, color graphics adapter, Hercules non-work for the monochrome display, EGA enhanced graphic adapter, MCGA multicolor graphics array, VGA video graphics array, SVGA super video graphics array. The MOCAM and several different related options, which one depends on the type of the display, how much you want to see on the screen. Normally, computer screen display with the 80 columns scroll with the 25 lines down with the EGA or the VGA display. You can begin with the version 4, change the size of the characters, display with the number of the line of the screen used in the mode command of 3 parameters. Mode console commands equal to bracketed columns lines, bracketed lines, console, mean with the name of the console with the mean of the display. COLMs are columns bracketed, set with the number of the characters displayed within each line with columns parameters. You can be either 40 or extra large 80 nominal size characters. Lines equals lines, so for the number of the line screen of the lines can be equal 25, 40, 30, 50, but not all displaying. Appers can handle all three choices. To see the screen, display 40 characters per line. For the C Red mode console columns 40. Display the character 80 characters per line, 43 lines per screen. Mode console columns 80 lines, 43. If you try with the command MS-DOS display with a message function not supported on the computer, the command does not work on your computer system, and you set with the ANSI SIS must be installed with the perform requested function, add reference program of the ANSI system, and start with the configuration system chapter 17 telling your system tells you how to do this. In all versions of MS-DOS can either another mode with a command with the control number of the characters per line, either the control number load with the mode with the command one form mode, and then in bracketed characters either 40 or 80. Display 40 columns with the command type with the C drive mode 40. MS-DOS clear with the screen with the display with the screen system prompt with the large characters upper left corner of the screen. Controlling width and spacing. Matrix normally prevents a maximum 80 characters per line, 60 lines per inch, and it also can prevent the smaller type of the condense and fits a 132 characters within the line. This ability to change the width of the useful mining documents wider than 80 characters. The printer can also print 8 lines per inch for more lines on page. If you have layers for printer, know the documentation came with the printer tells you how to set the printer to work. MS-DOS how to control the printer characteristics such as line, character, spacing. Example here most likely work less unless the laser printer can eliminate IBM or Epson docs printer. If the printer is attached with a parallel port, use the mode command specify the line width of 180 to 100 or 180 or 132 or spacing 6 to 8. When you use control.matrix printer attached with the parallel port mode command, 3 main parameters, which type of the one of the following to full form. The first form apply with the version 4 later, second apply with any version of MS-DOS. You have mode, bracketed printer, columns, bracketed width, lines, bracketed spacing, or mode, bracketed printer, bracketed width, bracketed spacing. Printer, the name of the printer file with the optional LPT1, LP2, LP3, 3. Width is either 80 to 130, spacing is 6 to 8. Notice for the comma preceding spacing, second form of the command. You always either include the printer you omit with the width of the space of the MS-DOS will leave the current spacing unchanged within second form of the command. However, the omit with the width you may still type of the command, comma before spacing with the type of the MS-DOS to omit the width. Example of the controlling MS-DOS matrix printer. The following example with MS-DOS connected with the computer first with the parallel printer LPT1. Discover the equipment that you search for be sure the equipment printer is turned on before proceeding with the following example. If you the different type of the printer setup, they might be referred to the example of the skip ahead to the next section. Control serial control communication ports. Because different versions of the MS-DOS have the different forms of the command. The example is first show the command with the version 4 later, then show the command for the former earlier version of MS-DOS. Cancel the attach LPT1 to print small type of up to 132 characters per line. The printer can also do with the command appropriate to the version of MS-DOS designed at the top of the next stage. If you have version 4 later, type the C drive mode LPT1 columns 132. And if you have an earlier version of MS-DOS, the C drive mode LPT1 column 132. MS-DOS replies display like this one. LPT1 not rerouted. LPT1 set for 132. No repair well and printer timeout. Our second line of the message, which you see with the version of MS-DOS, tells you with the command will work correctly with the printer with the now set with the small characters. You have the version 4 with the other line with additional message telling with the MS-DOS will indeed use parallel printer output, but the printer is busy with the turn off. They will not keep the center of the date with the test of the name print with the center of the printing content screen with the pressing shift print screen with the if you have the IBM PS2 keyboard print screen and not print or not shift print screen. Just speak with the same print with the 8 line with the per inch leave with the change you with the one of the following commands. If you have the version 4 later, so the D mode LPT1 colon lines 8. If you have the earlier version MS-DOS mode LPT1 comma 8. MS-DOS reply with the message of the LPT1 not require print lines per inch set, not retry parallel printer timeout. Again, if you don't have version 4 later, your message is shorter. See the effect of the setting with the printer content with the screen again with the brain shift the print screen. The time is print with the bold small type of the previous example, the closer line spacing. Show the print with the nominal width, the line space with the version 4 later. Mode LPT1 columns 80 line 6. If you have the earlier version of MS-DOS, mode LPT1 colon 86 8 comma 6 MS-DOS displays message similar to those already seen. LPT1 not rerouted. LPT1 set for 80 printed lines per inch. No entry with the parallel printer timeout. Alright, controlling serial communication ports. Serial communication is controlled with several characters. Communication parameter defined with how half of the form of the data transform of the different devices of the different parameters. Setting of the parameter serial ports must match those of the device for the computer server with which they communicate. Before you communicate ports, you must see with the parameters mode command main communication parameters set include the baud, how quickly characters are received, parity, kind of error checking techniques used, data bits, remember the electrical signals required to define the characters, stop bits, the amount of time between electrical signals marking the aim of the character, the more complete, definition parameter beyond the scope of the book with the figure 7.3 with the main parameters, can you be the set with the man mode command, documentation of the device for the computer server that does you want, but the show the required to compare each of these settings, show the MS DOS, assume the shown figure 7.3 to see what the parameters you must change. Show the name of the valid setting, how to specify the value of the MS-DOS assumes. Serial communication. Alright. Serial communication parameters. When using the serial parameters, serial communication port of the mode code has installed the form of the version 4 mode, bracketed ports, baud, priority, bracketed priority, data targeted, data bits, stop bits, bracketed, stab bit, early vision, versions of command mode, port, baud, parity, and data bits, and stop bits all bracketed in port. Name of the communication port file with the optional colon COM1 through COM4, COM1 or COM2, even the version earlier 3.3 remaining parameters, separated values, common to describe 7.3. You must specify the value of the baud each time at the end of the form of the mod command with the MS-DOS. Assume the value of the parameters last column of the figure 7.3. Use less specifically change that you need to specify the parameters on the left of the device. Services you want to communicate require the variant values different with those the MS-DOS assumes. If you omit any of the parameters second form of the MS-DOS mode command shown above, you must still leave the comma with the proceed with the MS-DOS of the mid of the parameter. Example, the controlling the serial communication point. The example will show with the different use of the mode command donut and left the serial communication ports you chain with the 7 to 7 of the board and brought baud rate with a COM1 to 1200 from L. Let MS-DOS assume the value of the other parameters you would like to type one of the following commands. If you have version 4 or later, you type the man COM1 colon baud 1200. If you have an earlier version, MS-DOS type of the mode COM1 1200 colon 1200. MS-DOS would reply reporting current settings of each parameter 1200 to E71 and underscore on COM1. Report for forms informs baud 1200 parity is even, the data bytes 7 and the stop bit is 1. The hyphen end of the tells the MS-DOS will not try to send the device that isn't ready when it will stop at after a brief time. If you set the baud of the communication 1 at 24 and set the parity to 9 and leave the data bits to 7 and set the stop bits to 2, would you type the one of the following commands? You only have vision 4 later type of the C mode command COM1 baud 2400 parity none and parity N and stop or parity none stop bit 2 equal to 2. Earlier version of MS-DOS, you the C drive mode COM1 colon 24N dot comma 2. Note the 2 commas before the telling 2. The 2 tell MS-DOS that admit with the data bits MS-DOS conform with the 2 these settings COM1 24N none 7 data bits stop bits 2 and then the hyphen. Connecting a serial printer. If you want a serial printer to test the communication ports, you with the mode command with the tell MS-DOS send the printer out communication ports and with the regular parallel printer port with the redirecting redirecting printer output with the might recall with the earlier example of control with the dot major experiment with the MS-DOS respond mode command include with the LPT1 not rerouted. Here you can see the meaning of the message MS-DOS report with the output with the regular printer port with the redirected to the serial port. Before redirected printer output, you must first set the parameters of the serial communication port, the value of the required with the printer described with the preceding section. Whereas redirecting printing out with the serial communication port with the mode command has one form mode, bracketed printer equals the port. Printer is the name of the printer of the LPT1, LPT2, LPT3 with the output with the redirected port. Is the name of the serial communication port, Commune 1, Commune 2, all versions of MS-DOS, Commune through Commune 3, Commune 1 through Commune 4 with revision 3.3 or later versions to redirect printer output. You must enter both parameters. Example, connecting serial printer to redirect the output of the LPT1 to serial port COM1. You first set the serial port and mean the communication printer's parameters printer to the type that is C drive mode, the LPT1 colon equal to COM1 colon MS-DOS would acknowledge the LPT and rerouted to LCOM1. Not all output with normally LPT1 would be sent to the communications port, serial port 1. Instead of the cancel the redirection, restore the printer output to the LPT1, you would change C drive LPT, C drive mode LPT1. Finding out about your system, you have up to this point number of the ways to mode control the device within your system, but just need to know how the control device also helpful with the MS-DOS are prepared. How to see the beginning of the version with the use of the mode command only devices of the MS-DOS, but finding out about them, check out the status on any of the devices of your system. Use the command mode bracketed device parameter status. Or the device, the name of the particular device you want to check with the if you met the device, the MS-DOS reports all of the devices recognizes. Parameter status, which can abbreviate status or STA, is needed only when you check with the status of the parallel printer you've redirected. The STA needed because simply typing mode LPT1 would cancel the redirection. Change of the only status single device type of the mode, the name of the device. For the example, the displaying you set with the 80 characters per line, 43 per screen. The command C drive mode console would report like this: status for the command device console. 80 comms lines, 43 code page orientation not supported on the device. The message code page on or operation not supported on the device simply means MS-DOS on this computer has not been told to recognize international language data, decimal currency conversions, conventions. Any need of the capability refer only help with the mode command. Check on all devices of your system with the type of the C drive mode. MS-DOS will respond with a report like save the device for the LPT1 not rerouted, entry non-code page orientation not supported on the device. Status device LPT2 not rerouted. Status device LPT3 not rerouted. Status device console the columns 80 to 25. Code page operation not supported with the device. Status for the device communication 1 retried none. Although parts of the report might look unfamiliar, here's what it means. The report combines the device 3 parallel ports, LPT1, LPT3, and 1, 2, and 3. The display console and serial port, COM1. The message LPTX not rerouted simply means the information sent any of these output channels have not been diverted to a serial port. The message or entry retry equals none, meaning the device connected with the port is busy. MS-DOS will not keep trying to send information to the device, printer, or modem, for example. The code page means that the MS-DOS has not been told to recognize international language data decimal and currency conventions. Alright, copy for a device with another device. Let's solve the earlier example. You can view the copy command to copy the device with the file with the technique, shovel the type of the create with the sample file with the copy with the keyboard to file with the you will find with the handy create short text files. You can also use the copy of one device and another copy of the keyboard of the print with example the convenient way of the print the short note with the list. You copy the device with the file with another device. MDS copies with the copy with the encounter with the character Control Z that marks the end of the file. You copy with the keyboard. You send the end of the file character pressing the key label the F6 and pressing the enter key that you've done before with pressing Control Z and enter. You the copy with the device the file another device copy command has two parameters: copy and the bracketed source and bracketed target. Source is the name of the source of the device. Target is the name of the target device. Example of the copy from the device to a file with another device. Copy with the keyboard console to the printer and make with a certain printer with turn on. C drive copy console printer. No, everything on the type of the both displays sent to the printer type of the few lines, and with the copy with the F6 or Control Z or showing Control Shift. Control Z. The example to be covered how the MS-DOS displays it. The lines are being copied from the keyboard over the printer. Control Z. One file occupied. Control C drive. Alright, if the command does not proceed with the printing copy, you may need to tell with the printer to check with the printing page, move the negative page with the typing primer off of the pressing of the form feed button. Printing graphic images, pressing shift print screen, print the text page, display with a monochrome, the color display, but if it does not print graphics image, if the display with the tag for the graphics adapter. The adapter graphic command with the label enables the MS-DOS to print with the graphic images and with several different printers. You can enter graphic command only once after you enter the shift print screen, everything on the screen with the active display would include graphic images sending characters, lines, and boxes. Color on non-color printers are stimulated with the shading depending on the resolution of the display. Graphic images itself will print across the page as you see them on the screen and may be printed sideways, rotated 90 degrees, or enlarged. Graphic commands load with the program and increase the amount of memory of the MS-DOS use. Command for the four main parameters: graphic, printer, parameter RR, and ICD. Printers can be used with the IBM or IBM printers listed in figure 7.4, and it shows color 1, color 4, color 8, compact, graphics, graphics wide, thermal, HPT, Delphi, DeskJet, LaserJet 2, PaintJet, QuitJet, plus Rugged Rider Road, ThickJet. Parameter R means reverse the MS-DOS to print with the screen as you see it. In other words, light with a character with a dark background. Parameter B, tell with the printer in the background color, separated with a color for one color, or A. For printer you do not specify. Parameter B, the MS-DOS does not print with the background color. ICD tells the MS-DOS to print with the contents. Liquid Crystal display with the IBM PABC convertible computer. When you enter the graphics command MS-DOS load with the program and adds it to the part of the system kept in the memory display with the system prompt. You can enter the command again with the next time MS-DOS or MS-DOS. By using the color display you have the printer with the print graphics, you can test the graphics command, entering the command and all appropriate parameters, loading of the graphic images displayed with the printer, and shift control print screen. Are changing the keyboard layout. When you show the MS-DOS system with the language, the keyboard layout with the country, with the computer, with the manufacturer, with the mid-1980s, with the success of the releases, MS-DOS has offered increasing amount of supporting languages other than original American English. As part of the international standard MS-DOS version 3, and later included a keyboard command chain with the keyboard outlet layout to accommodate with a special carry with different length with a match arrangement with the keys for the different country. First time keyboard command is carried out, loaded small programs, increased with the size of the MS-DOS memories by about 5,000 bytes. Subsequent keyboard commands tell the MS-DOS different set of the characters correspond with the different country-specific keyboard layouts. Keyboard layouts, when even the key B command, the MS-DOS for the keyboard layout, we want to add two-letter country code command. If using IBM PSC-DOS 3.0 to 3.2, MS-DOS further than 3.2, you can choose the 6 layouts by typing the command and showing in the center column. DV, KB, DV, or Dvorak, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and United Kingdom. If you're using version 3.3 or later, significantly expanded group keyboard codes become the version of the MS-DOS offer the more international support following types should over the keyboard readily available. The IBM compatible computers more instead of the Belgium, Bulgaria, Brazil, French speaking, Kazakh, Czech Republic, Denmark, France, Greece, Germany, Hungary, Iceland, Italy, Latin America, Netherlands, Norway, Portland, Portuguese, Romania, Russia, French-speaking, German-speaking, Slavic, Spain, Finland, Sweden, Turkey, United Kingdom, United States, Australia, English-speaking, Canada, Macedonia, Serbia, Montenegro, and Yugoslavia. Because entering keyboard command changes the location of the common keys, especially punctuation mark of the character result of the pressing key does not always match the label on the key, as you see shortly. Typing extended characters with the dead key. The many language extended characters combined with the extended mark of the common characters, such as the A and the N. Some of the extended characters assign the location keyboard, French board, keep the, for example, the type E with the pressing 7th key in the top of the row of the keyboard type by typing 7 and the number to shift 7. Often are not enough the keys provided with extended characters. However, the MS-DOS allows you with the dead key to combine extended markings and characters. Some of the typewriters use the same technique, and so the dead keys might be familiar. A dead key is one that represents an accent mark. The pressing of the dead key does not produce the parent result of the MS-DOS combined with the accent mark with the next key. Whether you press the one French keyboard example, the type of the O, pressing the key labeled A subset and then A parenthesis with the dead key with the circumflex O, then pressing with the key label O. If you're pressing dead key with the process of the character combined with the accent with the representing with the dead key, MS-DOS will be displayed with the accent mark with the pressing with the combined with the accent with the character of the shift P with indicate the MS-DOS can output with the circumflex of the letter P. Dead for the key represented with the character dilaresis. MS-DOS displays a small dot on filled in square of the file with the second key that presents the incorrect data dead key sequence. To rather the arrow of the backspace array for the two characters type of the correct dead key sequence. Example, U with the keyboard command, U with the MS-DOS version 3.0, 3.2 with the key BFR for French, and if you're using MS-DOS version 3.0 for the tile of the chain with the arrangement for free French is key B and then space FR of the MS-DOS for the bad command with the keyboard definition file with not expand with the MS-DOS to file with the command file with needed. Files needed with the keyboard system should be with the MS-DOS directory. Retype the command with the following substitute with the name of the MS-DOS directory is CDOS. C drive key B French dash dot C DOS keyboard systems. Yeah. All right.
There's some chicken and some nuggets in there, some macaroni and cheese, which is delicious.
All right, Mama.
I might go to my bedroom
Alright, Mama. If you're accustomed to the United States layout here of the obvious chain with the French layout, you must hold on the shift key with the number of the location with the 2 pair with the later key. Reverse is QA and W. The M is to remove the L semicolon located American English keyboard. Most simple the punctuation mark with a different places. Now you have a switch key with the most of the new layout with, for example, the common display with the directory with the wide format directory parameter W. Found with the French keyboard layout something like directory equals Z. Because of the equal sign with another's characters / even to be. The W and Z has also been changed place. Some of the places you want to send to the L, sentence L, Hotel Celebrity, S, Grande means famous hotel is big, but E and the accented E on the keyboard and 2 and 7 of them respectively, but the O, if flexible, is not, must be the dead key with the circumflex of the type R, P, right of P. Remember the Q and A keys that have been changed here by step, you would be the phrase C drive L for the apostrophe, the press 4 key, the top of the row apostrophe type H, drive L. L apostrophe H. Now you see with the circumflex with the dead key with the right with the P. Press the circumflex dead key parenthesis with the parenthetical left. Now that happens to the type O. MS-DOS displays the circumflex O. Continue by typing C drive. For E, press 2 keys, the top row type I. Press 7 key with the top row with the B, R, E, S, T, R, G, and final key with the A, and then type the ND. Although it's painful long list of instructions, just the simple step in the fact that just quite quickly, after a bit of practice, they escape clear of the line with the keyboard US to return to the United States layout. If the computer is manufactured use for the United States, you have IBM keyboard and strict compatible, you can switch to the foreign layout with the United States configuration and Control Alt F1, hold down with the Control Alt keys, press F1. Note that the MS-DOS still with the foreign layout, even though with the functional A with the U of the United States configuration, switch to the configuration with the Control Alt F2. Chapter 8, a tree files. A tree of files.